learning to a hybrid format and then full in-person schooling, every day has been different than the last. I feel confident in saying that the class of 2021 is extremely grateful for all the support the staff and community has given us. We are very thankful for the constant efforts to give us the most normal senior year possible, even under the circumstances. Though every day has certainly not been easy, it has always felt like there was a solid group behind us as we navigated this year. Though perhaps senior year was not everything we had expected it to be, it was definitely educational. I am very proud to graduate alongside the members of the class of 2021. My peers are some of the most strong-willed, kind, creative, and passionate people I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. Even before the pandemic, my classmates pushed themselves to succeed, be it in sports, theater, arts, or academics. I have witnessed firsthand that when their minds are put to a goal, nothing will stop them. Our skills in flexibility, perseverance, and stress management have been evident during the difficulty of the past year, and they were also further developed. As we move forward from high school, these traits will do nothing but benefit us and allow us to find success wherever we go, no matter the circumstances. In closing, I want to reiterate how grateful the class of 2021 is that we were able to enjoy many of the traditions the end of high school brings. From prom to this wonderful ceremony to graduation, we are thankful to the administrators, staff members, and families who have done nothing but fight for and support us our entire high school careers. To my fellow graduates, it has been a pleasure to grow alongside you the past 4 years. As we enter the next phase of our lives, remember that you are able to overcome any obstacle, no matter the circumstances. Thank you.
Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance Thank you. Hi, my name is Lizzie Fogg. It is spelled with 2 G's. I didn't see the program beforehand. I was stopped at the end of our last pep rally and asked to give this speech. I was told to talk for 5 to 8 minutes about the last 4 years. Part of me was appalled at the idea of talking for 8 minutes about just the last 4 years without boring all of you to death. And an equal part of me was just as appalled at the idea of fitting all of the last 4 years into just 8 minutes. So much has happened, and yet I feel like it's been nothing sometimes, like all one really long, really weird fever dream. So when faced with being appalled and confused and a little bit more than a little terrified, I defaulted to my usual routine. I'm going to talk at you all about theater. Now, I know very few of you have ever been involved in the chaos of live theater, but it has taught me a lot. Conveniently, it has also been around me for the last 4 years. It checks all the boxes. Therefore, I present to you the top 5 things I learned through theater that can be applied everywhere, or at least applied as vague metaphors for the last 4 years. Number 1, fake it until you make it. Seriously, I can't stress this enough. In theater, there's no breaking character, no cameras to stop rolling. You just go with whatever happens. I was in a show once where all of the tech stopped working. Lights turned off, microphones shut down, the whole 9 yards. Me and every other terrified actor on stage just fumbled around until we found a reason to emergency end the show. We just faked it, and we still got a round of applause. More recently, I faked my way through an entire AP statistics class and still got a B. Thank you, Mr. Sittimer. In theater, we call this improv, but I think it's an important skill for everyone to have. I don't mean to cheat or lie, but pretend you're confident. If you had told freshman Lizzie that she'd be giving a speech of any kind, she probably would have started crying right then and there. I faked confidence so well over the last 4 years that it just became natural. And now here I am, not even crying. So straighten your back and look people in the eye. Pretend you already have the respect and confidence you want, and then give that respect and confidence to others, and it'll find its way to you in earnest. Number 2, there is always something more embarrassing. We've all done something a little stupid, like tripping up the stairs when there's a group behind you, or asking a question that was literally just answered. When you're in theater, though, you get used to making a fool of yourself in front of a lot of people. My sophomore year, my director stopped me in the middle of an audition and asked me to give the monologue again in a southern accent. I thought I was going to die, and I thought the world was going to end, because I had never tried an accent, and I just knew it was going to be awful. And frankly, it was awful. But then I tried again, and again, and again, and eventually people forgot the time when I couldn't switch directly into a southern accent. And I forgot the horror of embarrassing myself until the next show, where I was body slammed into the floor by a senior and then had to curl up into a ball and scream through a monologue. And again, I thought I was going to die and thought the world was going to end. But after almost 30 shows, I've neither died nor has the world come to an end. I've come to the conclusion that, indeed, there is always something more embarrassing, so you might as well enjoy this most embarrassing moment ever while it's here. Have a little fun with it. In fact, look forward to the next big one. In the end, it might even make a good story to tell during a last-minute baccalaureate speech. Who knows? Number 3, be creative. Obviously, theater is an art and requires a lot of creativity, but not always in the ways you'd think. Sometimes it's making a whole outfit out of 3 scraps of fabric. Sometimes it's figuring out how to get 6 people on stage and have them all in different parts of time. Sometimes it's a new and stupid name for your friend just to embarrass them. Thank you, Bone Scratcher, aka Jackie Bonnevie. There are a lot of people in the class of 2021. Creative people, excuse me. Throughout the last 4 years of high school, our class has done consistently well in hallway decorations, lip syncs, and art classes we were required to take to graduate. Some of us even enjoyed it. My point is, this creativity will serve us well in life. We are a generation of outside-the-box thinkers, revolutionaries, and problem solvers. Now, this is an excellent segue to number 4. There is always a way to fix it. Sometimes faking it isn't enough. Call back to number 1, see what I did there? You have to actually find a solution. COVID gave us lots of problems to solve. In theater, we had to rework scenes to have no touch, choose shows with few cast members on a stage at a time, and wear horrendous plastic masks to avoid looking like bank robbers. And then COVID gave us more obvious problems. Maybe some of you have heard of online schooling by now. Teachers were great at adjusting lesson plans, but there were still holes and questions students had to figure out, like what to do if the power goes out, or how to finish that paper without a printer, or if we should still ask to go to the bathroom during online classes, or just go. COVID handed us so many problems, and we are graduating next week because we solved them, but we didn't solve them alone, which is another great segue to number 5, the most important lesson I've learned through theater. It's okay to ask for help. We are a community full of artists and athletes and writers and mechanics and scientists and everything in between. We are great at problem solving and being creative, and maybe even better at faking it and embarrassing ourselves. Sometimes we run into problems that are bigger than just one person can handle, though. Sometimes all the tech stops working. Sometimes a cast member is sick during an important rehearsal. Sometimes a pandemic shuts everything down, and it feels like the world is going to end. These are problems you cannot face alone. No one can, and no one should have to. Asking for help is scary, and sometimes you feel dumb for doing it, but it builds relationships and it acts as a pride check. I'm sure it's universal for kids my age to think they can take the world by storm, but a storm is not just one cloud. Over the last 4 years, the class of 2021 has been taught the lessons and given the tools to change the world, and we will. We'll do it together. Thank you.
Of course, now the breeze picks up. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Alex. I know most of you up there, but I've worked with several of your students in very varied capacities. I do a little bit of everything. So welcome, family and friends. I'm honored and terrified to be before you today. Public speaking is one of my biggest fears. There are so many things to say about this group of young men and women over here. Any of you that have had me in class know that words are not my thing. I mess up words all the time, and I spell them wrong, I say them wrong. They're just not my thing. There's a reason I teach science. So I'm going to start with a quote. Challenges in our life are there to shape us into our more conscious self. Everyone will try, everyone will occasionally fail, but you are not your mistakes. You are not defined by your struggles. Though they do mold you into what you're becoming, you have the power to shape your future into something bold, new, and amazing. It's from Suzanne Wagner. Wherever we go, we leave a mark. Those things that people talk about when we're not around. Anyone can say anything to your face, but listening to what others say when you're not around really tells you what they really think about you. Sometimes, the mark you leave behind is a jumbled pile of mistakes and struggles. Others, it's an amazing sculpture of accomplishments. The class of 2020, or class of 2021, there we go. Again, words, not my thing. The class of 2021 has had some struggles to contend with, but those struggles are not your legacy here at Kingswood. I would like to share with you some of the insight as to what is said about your class when you guys are not around. They are survivors. Some of them have learned a great deal about the power of perseverance and persistence, both of which will go a long way towards future success. A teacher said, "I was thoroughly impressed with the students' resilience and determination to make it work this year. From mask wearing and hybrid learning to supporting each other, to the simple act of saying thank you to the teachers at the end of class. I found their positive attitudes exceptional and inspiring. I will miss them." In the Tech Center, I heard, "I find these students to be resilient, hardworking, and kind. They are one of the best classes I have worked with." From the languages, I am fortunate enough to have had some of these students for their 4-year career here. I am always amazed by the tremendous emotional growth I see in them by their senior year, and this class is no exception. Particular to the class of 2021 is a patient and very caring attitude displayed toward peers in the classroom. Including all students of varying abilities in the classroom is a personal passion of mine, and the compassion I observe towards all students on a day-to-day basis from this group is really remarkable. Another one from the Tech Center. When I think of the class of 2021, I think of disruption and hope. Disruption in the sense that their lives were disrupted for almost 50% of their high school experience. I'm not talking about their classroom and extracurricular activities. I'm talking about their lives. Society continues to evolve, and this class has been their guinea pigs in a sense of how fast and different things can get in a hurry, and doing so with the belief that things will get better eventually. In the sciences, over the last year, the seniors in my class stepped up and flipped the script. Meeting each Wednesday remotely was challenging and teaching in a format that requires more energy than in a normal classroom environment. It was draining. The smiles and laughs that they brought each day to remote meets on Wednesdays was the fuel I needed to keep pushing and developing a hybrid curriculum. Their positive attitude and resilience in a difficult educational setting filled my bucket and drove me to do better. They worked hard, completed assignments on time, and made sure those assignments were of high quality. From social studies, one thing I think about when I think of this class is resilience. They have had to roll with the punches so much this past 14 months that they really have shown resilience throughout the whole process. What has really struck me about this class is the optimism and positivity that they have shown. Rarely when I have talked with them have I heard them complain and use the woe is me card. They have shown this optimism and positivity throughout the last year and have tried to make the best out of the cards they were dealt. From one of the coaches, I think the legacy of this year's senior class is that they came in so well prepared to make an impact right away on the teams. I think they kicked down the door and said, "Hey, we're here, we're going to take your job if you're not going to work harder than us." I appreciate this group and their support of last year's senior class, and I feel like their legacy is one that includes moments of excellence and moments of just being the glue that makes the team stronger overall. Another from the sciences. I'm proud to have had them as students and believe the strength they have shown and the skills developed over the last 4 years will serve them well in future endeavors. Thank you for your work, your drive, and the smiles. You all have found a way to let your struggles mold you into amazing individuals. You took a tough situation that no high school class has been in about 100 years and turned it into a positive experience for those around you. You have shown amazing resilience, compassion, and positivity in a time when those traits are less common than they should be. This is the legacy you leave here at Kingswood. You are not the class of hybrid learning. You are not the class of toilet paper shortages, but the class of resilience, compassion, and positivity. You will have more struggles in life. Anyone that tells you otherwise is lying. But you have shown the fortitude to adapt and overcome the struggles in life. Continue leaving those beautiful sculptures as you leave a path of positivity and compassion. One final quote, one which I draw inspiration from regularly. The devil whispered in my ear, "You are not strong enough to withstand the storm." I whispered back, "I am the storm." Be that storm, leave your mark on the world, and continue being who you are.
I'm just gonna plant myself like here, and then we might have to scoot. I don't know. Never know. Or wait for my boy Bobby. Is it cool if I stand there so close? Okay. Is me. Hey, which one? Who?
There are places I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better, some have gone, and some remain.
All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall some are dead and some are living.
In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more, though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my
Okay.
Everybody take like 3 or 4 big steps, like way closer, way closer. This is the tonic note. 1, 2. Thank you very much. Oh, hi, thanks. At this point, we would say a fond farewell to our brothers and sisters in the class of 2021. And as is traditional, the up-and-coming underclassmen will be kind of carrying the torch, and we'll be singing, Lord bless you and keep you. So the Lord bless you and keep you. You guys can go back to your seat.
And give you peace, and give you peace. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious, and be gracious. The Lord be gracious, gracious Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shoes tied. Yes, they are. Take away.
I want to start by saying how honored I am to be here today. I found this blessing written by Phil Chick out of Xavier University. Good and loving God, we thank you for the completion of another academic year and for giving us the opportunity, short though it might have been, to play a part in the lives of our students and our graduates. We are grateful for your guidance and love as we shared in this important work. Please bless and guide our graduates as they reach the end of this journey, as they chart new beginnings. May what they have learned by being here with us allow them to truly be men and women for others. May what they have learned help them and enable them to do the same. Please help them to use all they have learned here and make the world a better place, to serve others in true solidarity and kinship, to seek ways to help the poor, the marginalized, and those who are suffering, and to always seek the greater good. We know that some of them will experience pain and hardship, and we know that some of them already have, and we ask you to grant them solace and strength. Finally, Father, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to build our community with these young men and women while they are here. Though they are leaving our campus, we know that they will always be a part of the Kingswood family, and we ask that the bonds that have been created here remain strong despite any distance. We ask this in your name, in the name of your Son. Amen.